the end of the previous event, we get to face a new challenge in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. This time, it's the new event Consumed by Light, Sartorius emerges. Now we're gonna have a look at the event itself, after that at Satorius, which you could already unlock in the previous Sartorius emerges event, and we'll just go right ahead and start. Looking at the event, you get faced with a lot of familiar cards that were already in Duel Links, like Arcana Force 14, Temperance, or Arcana Force 1, the Magician, and a lot of variety of cards of the Arcana Force archetype. What's a new card, but not in the Arcana Force archetype, is Ledger of Ledgermane. This is actually a pretty new card in the normal Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. It allows you to banish 3 cards from your deck, and after 3 turns, you will get all 3, which is basically a pot of greed, which just takes a lot of time. If you happen to draw this card at the very beginning of the duel, you may as well get an advantage with this. Now looking at the new Arcana Forces card, we are faced with Arcana Force 12, the Hangman. Being an enemy only card, this card is a little bit special and different to the other Arcana Forces. Its positive effect isn't on heads, as the other Arcana Force cards, it's actually on tails. Now to explain this to those who don't know the Arcana Force archetype, once Arcana Force card is summoned, a coin is flipped, and depending on the coin's side, the Arcana Force card will get a positive or negative effect. Usually in the Arcana Force archetype, landing on heads it will gain the positive effect and tails the negative. However, with the Hangman it's the complete opposite. Landing on heads, you will get to destroy a card during the end phase of your own and get damage equal to the monster's attack. If it's tails, you get to destroy an opponent's monster and he takes the damage of the attack of the monster. Also being introduced to the game are 3 new anime only cards, being the Sky Lord, the Material Lord and the Spiritual Lord. Each of these cards is based on another, the first one being the Material Lord. You need to have an Arcana Force monster with level 4 or lower in your graveyard to activate it. Then you can add the Spiritual Lord to your hand. This card you need an Arcana Force monster level 5 or 6 in your graveyard. And the other card, the Sky Lord, you need to have an Arcana Force level 7 or higher. Having all 3 cards on your field, you can summon Arcana Force Extra, the Light Ruler, without any tribute whatsoever. You can special summon it from the deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. You can special summon it from the graveyard. You can special summon it from the hand. However, it's much easier to get the tributes than all 3 lords on the field. Now the event itself isn't that special, since it already happened once. You will get pretty much the same completion rewards. I can share it because I already have it. You get to unlock Satorius with 400k points, which I also can show you because I already have him. And you get a unique skill with 4,200,000 points, being 3 Lord Pillar. Now, if your deck contains the Spiritual Lord and the Sky Lord, you will begin the duel with Material Lord in your spell trap zone. Also, the Spiritual Lord and the Sky Lord will be placed at the bottom of your deck, giving you, in theory, an advantage. However, it also means you can't use the only good skill with Satorius, being right side up, to actually use his Arcana Force deck. To explain what I mean, right side up lets you each time toss a coin for Arcana Force monster, it will always result in heads, giving you always the positive effect of the monster card, except for Arcana Force 12, the Hangman, since its positive effect is on tails. This pretty much bumps up every right side up Sartorius decks, if any. Looking at Sartorius Kumar himself, he has some pretty cool skills, some pretty cool cards. Actually, one of the few characters who gives us some card of his own archetype that are useful. Now we're going to have a look at some of Sartorius' personal skills. Right side up. If you summon an Arcana Force monster, its effect will always be heads. Master of Destiny. If you have 5 or more different cards in your deck which require a coin flip, first 3 times you coin flip a card, it will always be heads. Arcana Swap At the beginning of the duel, you can shuffle any amount of Arcana Force monsters from your hand to your deck, and then draw the same number of cards. This skill isn't that useful, but I could still imagine it to be good to anti-brick. Reversal of Fate. Now this skill is actually more significant than it seems. You can target any Arcana Force monster on the field and swap its effect. You can use the skill twice per duel. Given that the Hangman came out, this skill gains a lot more of, well, situationality. You can use it in more situations, making it more significant. Given the event itself, the rewards with the skill and the 3 lords and Arcana Force 12, I think it's pretty cool. They included some enemy cards, but again, the cards are not fitting for the Arcana Force archetype at the moment. The event itself was nothing special, and it already existed once in Duel Links. But I really love the character itself, so for me personally it was a great event. Of the mechanics, of course, it was just the same of pretty much every generic event, but I think nobody expected any new mechanic. Thank you again for watching this video, and I hope I can provide you with new content in the future again.